issue of Fashion Classics, the year is 1995. Designers turn up the heat as disco fever ignites spring style. You'll meet the master of herbs and sass, Herve Leger. Plus, a look at why Cynthia Rowley and Victor Alfaro made headlines in the 95 season. Focus in on legendary photographer Francesco Cozzi and the cover girl of the moment, Brandy. It's hot stuff, so stay tuned. A disco inferno blazed through fashion in the spring and summer of 1995. Looks reminiscent of those heady 70s. Wearing bell-bottoms, polyester, and lame, they're staying alive with a new 90s twist. The sexy disco dress made headlines that spring of 1995. As dance partner John Travolta returned to the spotlight, so did the 70s scene stealer. Remember doing the hustle in a disco dress? Another 70s staple, the hot pant, ignited the 1995 season. If you bared all with a pair of hot pants, you were braver than most. Revealing more than they concealed, hot pants were a great way to burn, baby, burn. No nod to disco devotion would be complete without including halter tops. They were a throwback to the 70s that never seemed to go out of style. Thought you'd never see them again? Well, they were back in 1995 with figure-flaunting force. Designers did the hustle that year with skinny pants. Teamed with strappy high heels, nothing elongated the leg better. To shine like a disco diva, sequins were a must. They even became an acceptably chic daytime option. Disco fever, burning up fashion in the spring of 1995. Did you take a whirl with the dance floor trends? One designer who adores the feminine form is Herve Leger, who made a name for himself in 1991 when he presented a bevy of sexy little dresses that were made from strips of fabric wrapped artfully around the body. They became known as bandage dresses. In his spring 1995 collection, no one threw a better curve than Leger.
It was 4 years ago. And I was totally broke to make some dresses for the finale of the show, you know. And I saw those bands in a box, in a garbage, in a factory. So I said, can I take the bands? I'm going to do something with it. And that's the way I did the first dress. And then I did 1, I did 2, I did 3. And I think I did 7 the first time. And then after that collection, the sale was very bad. So I decided to stop with the ready-to-wear. I said, I'm going to go on with this. I'll see what I'll do with that. And then suddenly, I don't know, the reaction was really strong because it was something totally different, I think, that in fashion. And it really gave me self-confidence and a style and a direction to go to. And now I'm doing both couture with the bands and also ready-to-wear, and that's where I'm now.
young they are. And they say there's no future for fashion.
There is not one woman, there is many women. I think it's, if you have only one ideal of woman, then you can dress only one woman. You know, my purpose is really to make women look beautiful and to work on the woman body, you know, and that's what I like. But it's not only one woman, because otherwise it's not fair, you know. So I know the type of woman I dress because, I mean, you've got to have shapes and not skinny. You don't have to be very, very, very thin to wear my clothes because they really make the woman look even better, you know. But I was in a party in New York and there were 6 women dressed in my clothes, all different, and I liked it.
This former hairdresser turned hat maker turned designer molds some of the best bodies. Model Iman was married in a Leger gown to husband David Bowie. These dresses are hand-stitched by a team of 12 and take 16 hours to a week to make. Now with knitwear, leatherwear, and bathing suits, the Leger repertoire has expanded.
I don't know how I do it to renew every season. It's just when the season is finished, I say, what am I going to do next season? I think that's the end of it. Even it's never the end of it, I don't know. And people like it, you know, so I don't know why I should stop, you know. I want to go on in what I'm the best at. I like glamorous clothes, I like sexy clothes, and I like to do anything a woman wants to wear when she wants to be beautiful, you know. So it's a big challenge, but we'll achieve it. Parfait.
A look back at Herve Leger for spring 1995. Now meet legendary fashion photographer Francesco Cozzi. His lifetime's focus has been to make every woman look like a diva.
When I first started, I had worked with Horst. I'd been his assistant when I was 16. It was a wonderful experience because he had a marvelous way with people and with actresses.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot how to handle people and how to relax them. And he was a marvelous photographer and a very good technician. Great like that. I'm always working with somebody. I don't think it's a kind of the work that I do, you don't do alone. You surround yourself with the people and what they want, and the hair, the makeup, the stylist, the editor, the art director. It's a group working together to produce something. I like to head that way. I'm really not interested in photography that much. What interests me is what I'm photographing and to be able to record them. I think it's the way they react to me and the way I react to them, and I think the combination, I think, is what makes a Scavullo picture.
And one picture he does so well is the Cosmopolitan cover shot.
The Cosmo cover girl is an icon now. I mean, that's something that I've done for 26 years, and all you have to do is say Cosmo girl, and everybody knows what you're talking about. And doing the Cosmo covers makes the girls very, very famous. I mean, they really, it's the largest selling women's magazine in the world. I mean, 2.5 million is a hell of a lot of issues to sell. So the girls are all dying to be on the Cosmo cover. It's one cover they really would do anything for.
I've only worked with Francesco Cozzi, and I've been working with her for 21 years. And one of the jobs I do every month is a Cosmo cover. I produce that every month, which means I think of the models with him, of course. We'll get new models. I'll get the clothes, style, direct the hair and makeup, edit the picture, and send it over to Mrs. Brown at Cosmopolitan.
I am not on the set, as we know, so I don't observe them working together, but I know the collaboration is total in that they respect each other so deeply. And although taking the picture, moving with the camera, being the artist who does the photography, may be a little bit more recognized and more appreciated and more deified than being a fashion stylist. That may be the case, but Francesco supports and respects Sean totally, and everybody else can speak to his lighting, his technical skills, but I know he understands what we want to say on the cover, and he has said it admirably all these years.
I love doing fashion, I love doing beauty, I love doing the new girls, and I love doing the new actresses and new actors, and the new people that are rising around us.
Behind the scenes with star maker Francesco Cozzi. 1995 was a very good year for designer Cynthia Rowley. She made headlines in Las Vegas, celebrated a boutique opening, and received a CFDA award all in 1 year.
She's really a wonderful, bright light and a beautiful energy and a sweet, lovely woman. And I'm very, very honored. And this is her gown, and isn't it smashing? Please give a warm welcome to Cynthia Rowley.
I was on a train on my way to school in Chicago when a woman stopped me and asked me about the jacket I was wearing, and I said, oh, it's mine, I'm a designer. And she said, great, well, here's my card, be in my office Monday with your line, I'm the buyer for Marshall Fields. So I ran to the fabric store, sewed all weekend, and brought my 5-piece collection to her office on Monday morning.
Through hard work, dedication, and humor, Cynthia's collections have expanded far beyond those 5 original pieces. For the spring 1995 season, Cynthia took her chances on Vegas and came up a winner.
Oh, everybody always needs luck. I think that's like something that you can never forget how lucky you are, really. And life's a gamble, so hopefully you'll be lucky. It's Vegas more in the 50s and 40s and sort of a nostalgic Elvis, Marilyn / Dean Martin, Gold Diggers kind of Vegas. I'm not really into fashion, like what people think is fashion, like the glamour of fashion. I just think that clothes are great, and I think that clothes can make you happy and change your mood and make you feel good. It should just be fun. I made my first dress when I was 7, and then I sewed all my life, and it wasn't until I was in college, I guess, that I started to really put my art and sewing together and decided to become a designer. And I never have ever worked for anyone. I just started very naively and almost by accident about 11 years ago. So it's been a long, hard road working up to this point. It's sort of like your 11-year overnight success story.
Cynthia Rowley from 1995. 1995 was also a year to pay tribute to a fashion giant, the unrivaled illustrator and trendsetter Antonio Lopez, who died in 1987 at the age of 44.
Antonio was not only this fabulous fashion partner of everyone during the 60s and the 70s, but he was also an artist which has been recognized for his own talent. As I say, he's He's a great artist. He carries fashion through 30 years without, getting repetitive, or he always brings a new impulse, a new energy. He transformed the ideal of woman. Through the drawing, you can see how much he likes women, but active women, liberated, young, running, going, There is nothing static in his work. So you can look at Antonio's through many different sides, and you find in him great depth and understanding of our last 30 years through style and fashion. And there's something also else which interests me a lot. Antonio, since he was at FIT at school, worked with his friend Juan Ramos. All their lives, they worked together. Antonio was the one doing the drawings, the actual hand, but on the other hand, all those ideas, to get a spirit and to experiment came from Juan Ramos.
People always thought that I was Antonio's business partner, but I'm the worst at business. Both of us, between both of us, we used to make the business happen. But I used to do research, do all the research for themes, do the art direction. It's a very rare collaboration because we thought alike. And we went in one direction, except that he was wilder, and I was more disciplined to get things done.
And we realized he's also, through the drawing, we realized he's also part of creating this stardom for model, which is blooming now, with the model replacing the movie star. Well, imagine somebody like Jerry Hall was discovered by Antonio when she was a very young girl, and she worked with him, and he called her Tex for Texas, and she bloomed into this extraordinary beauty, great model, but it's through his eyes that all that started. He worked a lot with the famous Pat Cleveland, which has been like some sort of an icon of a model, today, and Paloma Picasso was his muse, for a long time. He always said that his feminine ideal is Paloma Picasso.
Well, first, before working together, we also went to a lot of parties and a lot of nightclubs together, and that's where I got most of the girls to pose for him later. It was really interesting for me watching him work, whereas I'd seen him do it, but not for hours on a row, and was really fascinated how focused and so intense the way he worked. What Antonio was doing was not just showing what the fashion was, but by putting in a certain environment, made it even more readable. You can see that as his styles evolve, the fashion is evolving, and it's really a communication between what he was pushing in his designs was actually happening also in fashion, and sometimes he made fashion happen by designing the way he did.
Antonio Lopez from the Fashion Vault in 1995. Victor Alfaro is passionate when it comes to his designs, so it was no surprise when the Council of Fashion Designers of America recognized his accomplishments in 1995 with the Perry Ellis Award for New Fashion Talent.
The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about our first meeting is the fact that all the girls in my management office were like dying over him when he walked into the room. And it wasn't just the girls either. But anyway. And I'm very, very happy and honored and proud to present the Perry Ellis Award for New Fashion Talent to my good friend, Victor Alfaro.
As a young boy growing up in Chihuahua, Mexico, studying the pages of every fashion magazine I could get my hands on, I had dreams of one day moving to New York City to be near the talent that brought those pages to life for me.
In the spring of '95, Victor's dreams came true.
I think he's a young talent that just gets better and better, and I especially loved all of his satin numbers. I thought they were great.
I think Victor had a fabulous collection. I just think it was right on target. It was glamorous. It was very beautiful. Very, very wearable clothes.
I just wanted to do variations of color schemes that I've done in the past, and bright colors. bright pastels, and a lot of black, and a lot of lace, a lot of sexy textures, a lot of slits. You know, little by little it comes through.
Award winner Victor Alfaro came through in 1995. She hit the runway in full stride in 1994, and 1 year later, 16-year-old Brandy Quinones was a fashion star. She gets her exotic beauty from her Afro-Cuban Italian roots.
I was found in a shopping mall in Florida. I was buying a pair of shoes and somebody stopped me and asked me if I wanted to be a model, so here I am. It was a little strange because, you know, you don't know the person and it's really hard to trust them. But after I came to Paris, and after 2 days, I started to work with Chanel, and ever since then, it's been great. I've only been modeling a year, so I mean, there's not that many shows that I've done yet, you know. So it's still like trying to get into it.
Since 1995, Brandy has had much success and lots of fun with the modeling world.
Hey, it's definitely fun. I mean, I think the whole part that I like the most is like the 5-10 seconds you're out on the stage. You know, that's the part that's fun for me. Sitting back here and waiting and hair and makeup, it's not so fun. Interviews are nice though. I guess everybody sets their own mood, you know. So it also, for me, what I feel like, it depends sometimes on the clothes or the music. Mostly it depends on the music. My job is to make the clothes look beautiful, make my money, and leave, you know? I normally don't wear designer clothes, but if they're given to me, yes. But there's a few designers that I really like. Martin Cibon, Chanel. I also like Prada is very nice. And Versace is okay too. It's like I really don't notice like all the cameras and things like that. I don't notice that it's such a big stage. I mean, I just walk and just walk. I don't know, I'm hearing a lot about my walk lately. I guess it's gotten better, I don't know. I guess I'm 16, I'm young, you know? Energy just comes natural. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully it'll still be there in a few years.
Disco Fever, fashion classics from 1995.